Hello.
Welcome to Purana Talk. This is a completely unrehearsed reading of the Garuda Purana. We started at the beginning, but you didn't, so you won't even find those episodes if you look back. Just one day we got the tablet working and we started it up, and we've been doing it ever since. But just your luck, it started at perhaps the most dismal stretch of interminable Ayurvedic diseases that I have seen in any of the Puranas by far. But we're enjoying it.
It was yeah, yeah. It was
You
like
could,
he said.
yeah, okay. Um, so this is chapter 167 of the first part of the Garuda Purana. Dhanvantari said, "O Sushruta, I shall tell you about the pathology of vatarakta." So we know that rakta means blood, and vata is the dosha that is cold, dry, and windy. The airy. It's all about joints and transitional places in the body and movements. Like modern society has a vata disorder, for example. It's just too much moving around. So this is vata blood. We'll find out what we call that in the West, perhaps, as we go along, or we'll just imagine we know. O Sushruta, Sushruta, I shall tell you about the pathology of vatarakta, incomparable articles of fare, injudicious eating, anger, sleeping during the day, keeping awake at night, etc., cause the derangement of vayu and blood, wind and blood, generally in persons of easygoing temperament and delicate body, and those who are extremely obese and indulge in injudicious eating and conduct. So either of those, just nice, easygoing people with delicate bodies, or, you know, self-indulgent munchy monsters. You know who you are. We love you. 3. When the blood in the body is contaminated by a blow or due to the impurities injected by cool things or vayu generating stuffs and the aggravated generating, what? Or vayu generating stuffs, the aggravated vayu proceeds along a deviating path.
I think you need to take another run at that.
I got it, though.
Yeah.
When the blood in the body is contaminated by a blow, or due to the impurities injected by cool things or vayu-generating stuffs, the aggravated vayu proceeds along a deviating path.
I think they may be talking about bruising there at one point. Contaminated by a blow.
Mm-hmm.
Right, that could be a bruise.
Okay. 4. When obstructed by the blood of such a nature, the vayu of the first variety it vitiates the same blood and produces foul wind through the anus, or coos like a cuckoo, and generates vatarakta. Now, parenthetically, it inserted the word prana, so I should tell you, when obstructed by the blood of such a nature, the vayu of the first variety, prana, it tells us.
Which means breath.
Yeah, it means breath, but it's like primal breath. Let's just stop at that because it's complicated. But when obstructed by the blood of such a nature, the vayu of the first variety, prana, vitiates the same blood and then produces foul wind through the anus, or coos like a cuckoo, and generates vata rakta, which is vata blood again. Myself, I am still completely in the dark.
Yes.
5.
Figured it out.
When piles grow, piles, I know what that is. I'm not saying I've had them, I'm just saying I know what they are. When piles grow due to the vitiated blood, the vayu courses through the body and generates vomiting and other symptoms slowly.
Okay.
Okay, 6-7. An affection like kushta or arbuda, which it tells us are carbuncle, swelling, shall then rise. There may be itching sensation, throbbing, excruciating pain, breaking pain, heaviness and insensibility in knees, calves, thighs, hips, shoulders, hands, feet, and the joints of limbs. The symptoms occur and vanish, recur again sometimes. Sometimes it starts from the root of the feet, and sometimes from the hands, and getting aggravated courses through the whole body, like the poison of a mouse.
Blood poisoning?
Like. Or it might go back to something like a bruise or infection that starts out, allowing wind to infect the blood in their way of thinking of it, and then being, put in, going off course essentially and doing damage and spreading out the way a poison might. And so you might develop, a bruise or a carbuncle or a swelling from an injury or an insect or something like that starts there and then begins to
gets more virulent.
Wind blood. Where am I? Just 9.
Mm-hmm.
The vayu and the vitiated blood, vitiated. It's using this word a whole lot, and it's not a word that we use a lot in modern English. Vitiated blood, compromised. Would that be a word that
maybe
would be equivalent? The blood has somehow been compromised, vitiated. The vayu and the compromise. I like that better. So maybe, those of you who are sitting here scratching your heads over vitiated might consider compromised.
Or tainted.
Tainted. Tainted.
Infected.
Okay.
There's a bunch of words we might use.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we might be onto something here in our quest to understand what the hell they're talking about. 9. The vayu and the vitiated blood located in the skin and the flesh rises up and after some time becomes grave and acute and attacks all the fundamental constituents of the body, the dhatus, the 7 dhatus, I believe they are 7. Blood, bone, plasma, etc. The vayu located at the bones and marrow produces intumescence, knotty eruptions, and suppurations. The vayu located in the narrow constricted places like hips produce copper-colored or tawny or red color in the skin. Sometimes the vayu courses in the body as if piercing everything within. Sometimes it courses like a whirlwind in circuits and makes the body lame or limping. 12. When vayu is present, the prickling heat, throbbing, and breaking pain is very much. The swelling is hard and rough and black in color or tawny. Sometimes it increases, sometimes it subsides. Tawny is another one of those words that this translator loves. And
it really means brown.
Yeah, sort of reddish even, right? Reddish brown. Mm-hmm. Constricted by the nerves and junctions of the fingers, gripping pain in the limbs, excruciating pain, abhorrence of chillness, non-contiguity, rigidity, shivering, and insensibility in limbs. Again, inserted parenthetically, in limbs.
Yeah, how are you insensible in limbs unless you can't feel them?
Yeah, you're numb in the extremities. Your hands and feet are numb, for example. 14. The vayu located with blood produces tumor, giving great pain and piercing. I think that's ache, even though they ended it with a U instead of an E.
Mm-hmm.
You see that?
Yeah.
Or it's achoo. That's not how you spell that either. It is copper-colored. That sort of tawny direction again, huh? Mm-hmm. It gives a very peculiar, irritating sensation. Whether glossy or rough, it never subsides. It is, as it were, like a bowl full of mucus substance. Paints a picture. 15. When pitta too is aggravated, the following symptoms are observed: a burning sensation, swooning, perspiration, epileptic fits, inebriety, thirst, not yielding to the touch, painful discharge, drying up, suppuration, and excessive heat. 16. When kapha is aggravated, the following symptoms are observed: rigidity, heaviness, insensibility, glossiness, numbness. The word numbness he's decided to put in parentheses, but otherwise just in a list with commas along with the others. Chillness, itchness, and slight pain. When two or more doshas combine, the symptoms of either occur. Ailments caused by a single morbid principle can be cured. Those caused by two doshas can be alleviated by medication, though not cured completely. A rakta pitta caused by three doshas is terrible and should be avoided. A rakta pitta. Rakta again is blood. Pitta is one of the doshas. The warm, sweaty one. Okay. 18. The vayu located in the extremities and joints attacks the blood, and both permeating each other generate excruciating pain and take away the life. Excuse me, I will attempt to clear my throat. me.
So 17 through 19. 17 was
Haven't done 19
things
yet.
that are curable. 18 was things that were not curable but treatable. And then 19 was things that were...
No, I think you're talking all about 17. I haven't even started 19 yet. 17 says ailments caused by a single morbid principle can be cured.
Right, those are the curable ones.
17 also says those caused by two doshas can be alleviated by medication, though not cured completely.
Oh, okay. So that's 17.
And then 17 says a rakta pitta caused by three doshas is terrible and should be avoided. 18 is the vayu located in the extremities and joints attacks the blood, and both permeating each other generate excruciating pain and take away the life.
Okay, so it's 18 that's not curable.
18 is, yeah. And the tridoshic, three dosha one is terrible and should be avoided, but it doesn't tell us if you'll die from it necessarily. 19 to 20, vayu is of 5 types. Prana is hard and rough. Hence, when it gets aggravated by injudicious conduct, fasting, excessive eating, so extremes, hurt from a blow, suppression of rapid egress of the natural urges. That could mean a bunch of different things. Not a whole lot of things, but a few. Like not just doing what nature tells you to when it tells you to do it. Just do it. I mean, you can leave the room, but it produces affliction to the eyes, etc., and catarrh, burning sensation, thirst, cough, dyspnea, etc. follow. Prana, located on the top of the clavicle, produces constriction of the throat, loose motions, vomiting, non-relish for food, flowing of the nose, and such diseases as goiter, gulagunda, etc.
That's a hard one to understand.
Well, not exactly. 21. Prana located, the air located at the top of the clavicle, is that just here?
Right.
Produces constriction of the throat, loose motions, vomiting, non-relish for food, blowing of the nose, and such. That sounds like the flu.
Yeah, could be.
And such diseases as goiter, etc.
Anything that constricts
Gull is
your throat.
Neck. Maybe. Gunda. I hesitate to speculate. 22. Dhyana, which it says second type of vayu, becomes vitiated and aggravated by too much of walking, tainted or compromised, we've decided, or alternate words of choice here. So the Vyana, the other type of Vayu, becomes tainted and aggravated by too much of walking, bathing, playing, sexual exercises, coarse and incompatible foodstuffs, fright, delight, sorrow, etc. Sexual exercises?
Sure.
Like Kegels?
Well, perhaps. They probably didn't call it that, though.
I think they mean dalliance beyond ordinary. Required,
they may be referring to going through the motions of the Kama Sutra or something. You never know.
I'll be practicing my sexual exercises in the other room for a while. Just knock. Okay. Sometimes his use of words is actually almost always his use of words is
interesting.
I've expressed, if I had lots of time and maybe a nice room in Delhi and a servant, and I'd love to just sit down and rewrite this in English. And I say this with great respect for the translator that brought it this far, because it's a long ways to go, and he's done an amazing job. I have to always say that because it's true. Where am I?
23.
23. Take a deep breath. We're going under again here. It then impairs. Now this is, when your second type of Vayu becomes vitiated because you're like screwing too much or doing something in excess, or got whacked, or it's fright, or got scared, or thrilled. It then impairs manliness, enthusiasm and strength, grief, confusion in the mind, fever, piercing pain all over the body, horripilation, insensibility, somnolence, etc. I lowered my voice because it was in parentheses. Again, parenthetically, Vyana produces, out of parentheses, kushta, erysipelas, exhaustion of the whole body, and other disorders. Samana, third type of Vayu, is defiled by incompatible and undigested foodstuffs that are too cold and of a sordid nature. Too cold and too diverse. Is that what we're saying?
Something like that.
It is defiled by untimely sleeping and waking up, and produces pain, enlargement of the spleen, diarrhea, and diseases of liver and lungs. 2627. Apana, A-P-A-N-A, the fourth type of Vayu, is aggravated by the intake of coarse and heavy cooked rice, forcible blow, suppression of natural urges, too much of traveling, getting up and going round, etc., and produces disorders in the digestive organs and their seats, defects in urine and semen, piles, prolapse in the rectum, and other places. 29. Due to lassitude, rigidity, and heaviness, the sama, undigested mucous matter, pervades all the limbs. Due to its glossiness, the disorders are lethargy, chillness, swelling, and impaired digestion. And these sound like kapha disorders, but kapha is mucousy, the phlegmatic humor. The itching sensation is due to the loss of roughness and similar palliative measures. That doesn't seem to make sense. The nirama, free from mucus, shall be known by the opposites of tundra, lassitude, etc.
Oh, that's not clear. Did we ever get the fifth type? Did they ever mention the fifth type?
No, we haven't gotten to the fifth type. We just did the fourth type.
Right. Okay. Very good.
I think sama is undigested mucous matter, so that's not a type of Vayu. All right, 30. They mention many enveloping factors for the Vayu. If it is enveloped by pitta and its symptoms, the disorders are burning sensation, thirst, pain, vertigo, darkness of vision, and desire for pungent, hot, acid, saline, parchifying food, and cool things. So, like those extra hot Cheetos dipped in salsa or something. Dipped in vinegar. Yeah, like salt and vinegar potato chips. Boy, there you go. All right. If it's enveloped by kapha, too much of yearning and craving is evinced for fasting, labor, hard and coarse things, and hotness. Chillness and heaviness are felt. Pain is experienced. Butter and milk are desired much. Pungent things are liked. If vayu is enveloped by kapha and disorders are pressure, the disorders are pressure on the limbs, disquietude, heaviness, and non-relish for food. If vayu is enveloped by blood, acute pain and burning sensation in the skin and flesh is experienced. I'm still intrigued, just among the things that it's talked about is how certain doshic issues are the cause of desires for certain kinds of foods and flavors. That's very interesting to me. Why the appetite for specific kinds of foods and flavors. Now, there's in the Ayurvedic theory there are 6 flavors, rasas, and in a proper meal, or at least in a proper life, all of these things are given a place, and because they contribute to the balance of the system.
So verse 30 is where this enveloping
dialogue
and
I'm not sure what this enveloping thing is about.
Well, I'm going to call it enveloping doshas. And
so, going back even slightly further, I'm going to theorize that sama, which is mentioned in 2829, is the 5th type of vayu, even if it's described as undigested mucus matter, because the way it is presented is as if it were the 5th entry in this list.
All right.
And, it gives us a reason that it is aggravated, and it gives us...
and then the enveloping starts.
Then the enveloping thing begins in 30. The enveloping factors for the vayu, for the wind, if it is enveloped by pitta and its symptoms.
So pitta around vayu.
That's when you feel burning sensation, thirst, pain, vertigo, darkness of vision, and a desire for these, like extreme flavored foods that are salty and sour and spicy and astringent, and it doesn't say astringent, it says acid, and parchifying, things that are drying, but also cool things.
The next one's kapha
and ice cream,
right?
Sounds like me. What? The next one, if it's enveloped by kapha.
So,
and if that's the case,
kapha around vayu.
Yeah. And if that's the case, you have too much of yearning and craving for fasting, working hard, for coarse things, and heat. You feel cold and heavy. You have pain, and you want butter and milk and pungent things, hot things. You like hot things and dairy, butter and milk. Now, if vayu is enveloped by kapha...
That's one we just had.
Well, it tells us again in 32.
Well, it's continuing.
Okay. The disorders are pressure felt on limbs, disquietude, heaviness, and non-relish for food, except for buttermilk and pungent things. If vayu is enveloped by blood, acute pain and burning sensation in the skin and flesh is experienced. A red intumescence is found to occur with ring-like grooves all around. The swelling is hard with flesh. Disquietude and eruptions are also observed. And there's another symptom that looks like ringworm or something like that, a ring-like groove around a red swelling. Hard with flesh. 34. If the vayu is enveloped by fat, it is called ardhyavata. Ardhyavata. The swelling produced by it is incurable. It is either shifting or fixed, soft to the touch and pleasing to the eyes. If it is covered, it feels hot to the touch. It is cool to the touch when not covered. If the vayu is enveloped by majja, marrow, one of the 7 dhatus, the swelling grows irregularly with surrounding eruptions. The patient feels pleasure in rubbing it with the hand, otherwise it's painful. Okay, when the vayu is enveloped by semen, another one of the 7 dhatus, there is no rapidity or force in the swelling. When what is taken in is digested, there is surely some relief. If the vayu is enveloped by urine, urination takes place with the distension of the urinary bladder. If the vayu is enveloped by pores, there is constriction and it splits the place of its seat. Is that thing moving? It seems like we've been sinking in the picture. Maybe I'm sinking.
Maybe so.
I'm back. All right. The patient, this is 38. The patient falls down. We started with 37. If the vayu is enveloped by urine, if the vayu is enveloped by pores, there's constriction and it splits the place of its seat. 38. The patient falls down with an attack of fever and the food taken is assimilated. The defiled semen, further afflicted by food, is discharged slowly. Pores, it says. Vayu is enveloped by pores. 39. If the vayu is enveloped by all the dhatus, the 7 fundamental constituents of the body, there is pain in the buttocks, thigh joint, and the back. When the vayu courses in the opposite direction, the heart is afflicted. When the prana is enveloped by pitta, the disorders are vertigo, fainting, pain, and burning sensation. When vyana is enveloped all round by pitta, the disorders are pain, lassitude, aphome, aphamy, aphome, and burning sensation. When samana is enveloped by pitta, the disorders are exhaustion, obstruction to the activities of the limbs, distress of mind with pain, loss of heat, perspiration, disinclination towards everything, parenthetically, and thirst. 42. When apana is enveloped by pitta, the disorders are burning sensation, yellow color in the fecal matter, increase of rajas, quality of passion, etc., heat, and urination with distension. 43. When prana is enveloped by kapha, the disorders are a rumbling sound, obstruction to the ducts, ptyalism, P-T-Y-A-L-I-S-M, which it says is excessive salivation, perspiration, and difficulty in inhaling and exhaling. 44. When udana is enveloped by kapha, the disorders are heaviness of limbs, non-relish for food, aphasia, loss of speech, A-P-H-A-S-I-A, aphasia, and aphonia, loss of voice. When vyana is enveloped by kapha, the disorders are loss of strength and color and constriction of bones in the joints. 45. When samana is enveloped by kapha, the disorders are heaviness of limbs, obesity, loss of awareness of many functions, non-perspiration, and impaired digestion. If apana is enveloped by kapha, the disorders are mucus discharges along with urine and feces. Thus, vatarakta ailments are of 22 types. Each of the 5 types of vayu can be enveloped by the other 4. Thus, 20 different enveloping factors are obtained. When apana is enveloped by prana, the disorders are disquietude, dyspnea, cold, headache, palpitation of the heart, and dryness of the mouth. When prana is enveloped by udana, debility is the result. All the other avarnas, enveloping factors must be carefully observed by the physician and understood. 50. The increase and decrease of the activities of the vayus are based on their seats. Pitta can be the enveloping factor of all the 5, prana, etc. When pitta and other doshas are in combination, their seat is along with the prana and others in combination. There are many such combinations of pitta, etc. 52. The physician shall observe them attentively from the symptoms shown. Their buying together is gradual. Even the firm ones recur again and again. 53. Life and longevity depend on the prana, and strength depends on the udana. If the two are afflicted, there is loss of life and strength. If the vayus with their enveloping factors or their dislodgement from their seats are understood, then even incurable ailments can with effort be made harmless. By neglecting the vayus when enveloped, these disorders occur. Abscesses, enlarged spleen, palpitation of the heart, tumors, impaired digestion, etc. O Sushruta, the pathology of the different ailments as narrated by the sage Atreya has been explained to me to distinguish the different ailments and to know the means of increasing the longevity of men. Thus, diagnosing the different ailments, one should proceed ahead with the treatment. Triphala, 3 kinds of myrobalan, is the panacea for all ailments when used in conjunction with honey, ghee, and jaggery. Sugar! And Triphala is they actually footnoted here, it is the Terminalia chebula, the Terminalia balearica, and Emblica officinalis, also known as...
They have gotten it right.
Yes, they have. They have got the emblic myrobalan, chebulic myrobalan, and balearica.
And this is our first remedy. They have given symptomology and diagnosis, but no remedy.
Yay! We've reached a turning point. A remedy, and it's Triphala. It is something that is available easily nowadays. You can probably buy it at Fred Meyer in the supplements section.
Totally could.
So this is, thousands of years after it was first invented.
Super supplements. Like that. Health food stores.
So go for it. And combine it with your favorite, honey, ghee, or jaggery. Just get it in the powder form experience. Now, the thing about Ayurvedic medicines, they weren't encapsulated to get it past your mouth so you wouldn't experience the taste of it. The flavor is the first action on the body. It causes the first reaction. And so it's actually important to taste your medicine, as distasteful as it may seem. But that's why a spoonful of honey or ghee or jaggery helps the medicine go down. So,
thank you, Mary Poppins.
Yes. 58. Triphala, used in conjunction with, and you can call it triphala, I don't care. That f sound didn't come in until the influence of Arabic languages from the West came in. It's not, the Sanskrit alphabet gives you an aspirated P, but not a f sound. But nowadays, triphala is the common pronunciation in the West, probably. So you don't have to sound like me and call it triphala, which means 3 fruits. Pal is fruit. So just saying. 58. Triphala used in conjunction with Vyosha, Shatavari, Guruchi, Agni Viranga, remove all sickness. Again, more remedies. And it's telling us parenthetically that Vyosha is a combination of Zingubar officinala, Piper longum, and Piper nigrum. So that is ginger, long pepper, and black pepper.
Right.
Trikatu is what this is called nowadays. This is the 3 hot bitey things. Seen as very therapeutic for certain things. Don't eat it if you already got an aggravated pitta, however.
Right.
Shatavari, and I'll read it. It's the asparagus racimonis. This is the Ayurvedic remedy for a woman with 100 husbands. In a sense, it's the women's ginseng, or the what is it? What's the women's medicine in Chinese?
Dong Quai.
Dong Quai. Thank you. Of Indian, of Ayurveda. These are all really, really important things. And then we have Guruchi, which is Cocculus cordifolius. What's that? I was thinking that was you know, the resin.
Guggulu.
Google. It
But
might be.
Not,
I think it
it's
might.
not the right botanical name.
It isn't. And Agni Vidanga is the other one, and it is identified as not clear. Identity not clear. Agni Vidanga.
Something hot, probably. Because
Yeah, Agni
is
is
the god
fire.
of fire. So it's probably something that gives you a warmth.
It's curious that when it's shortened to Agni in the next section, it actually goes ahead and speculates that it's perhaps Chitrika, Plumbago zelanica, or from Ceylon, or P. rosea. Okay. Anyway, we continue with remedies here. Shatavari Guruchi Agni Shunti Mushalika Bala Punarnava Brahati Nirgundi Nimbapatra Bringaraja Amalaka Vasika shall be soaked in Vasika juice along with Tripala and purified 7 times or more. And we just got a buttload of really important Ayurvedic herbs. In fact, the most important Ayurvedic herbs by and large, starting after Agni, which it's speculated might be this Plumbago zelanica. Shunti is ginger. The next one is a species of Chlorophytum or Crucicligo orchioides, an orchid, perhaps? Is that what it's saying? That one I'm not familiar with.
Unless it's vanilla or something.
Yeah, but the vanilla came from the New World, and it's only recently been cultivated in India. But that doesn't mean they don't have orchids.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the Bala or Bala is. Krataeva rexburgi. Punarnava is Borhavia procumbens. Brahati is Solanum indicum. Nirgundi is Vitex negundo. Nimbapatra is the leaf of the Azadiracotus indica, which I sort of took to be something like lime leaf, because nimbu. And then the next one is Bringaraja, is the Ecliptica prostrata, or E. elliptica erecta. What is that? Because Bringaraja is a really important oil. Bringaraja oil is used.
We've got the reference books to look it up, but not here.
The next one is Amalaka, which is the Emblica officinalis, or amla fruit. The Indian gooseberry, which is the main ingredient in Chyawanprash.
Very high in vitamin C.
Very high in vitamin C and antioxidants. The Vasica is the Lipia nodiflora. All right. That's the list of plants. The above medicine can be used in powder form or in pills or in the form of vatikas, tablets, or prepared in ghee or squeezed into oil or in decoction. The same removes every illness, especially emaciation. The dosage is 1 pala or half a pala, 1 karsha or half a karsha. We did it. That was chapter 167.
Well, I'm glad to see remedies coming in.
Yes. In fact, it seems to me that this is where we're going to go next, to more remedies. More remedies, not just descriptions of oozing, pustulous, bumpy,
You can look back if you forget.
Yeah. And before we fade off the bottom of the screen here...
we're going to say goodbye.
Push the button.